Please make welcome our next speaker, Hagen, from contesting Division 5.
Okay, I'm going to tell you personal details about myself at the end of this address. Oh, okay. Yeah, at the end of my address I'll give you personal details, but I first want to talk about neglect, abandonment and betrayal. These were the opening words in my address to Council in August last year about the health hazard dusty roads on the southern Moreton Bay Islands. I said, Council's decision not to green seal any roads on the islands this year is seen by residents as disgraceful, a vital project that's been abandoned. I guess neglect, abandonment and betrayal has been our overall experience as well with Council decision making. Okay, so what's wrong? Overdevelopment, clogged roads, city plan, Redland Investment Corporation, Toondah, koalas, Wynham Creek PDA, islander parking and secrecy. I'll go into a bit more detail. The neglect of consultation with Redland Bay people and islanders about the poorly planned Moores Farm car park that's supposedly temporary. Neglect of road issues generally, all those new units and townhouses with occupants' cars adding to road congestion. Neglect in getting the city plan wrong. How on earth could Council approve a plan which allowed for medium density, then that whacks in more tidy units on medium density blocks, little more than 800 square metres? Neglect of island commuters with CCTV installation taking so long at Redland Bay and no monitoring built into plans for the new Moores Farm car park. Abandonment of common sense, buying Cleveland Point land for $3.6 million with no actual plan for why Council was buying it. Then a Cleveland jetty spruiked by the Mayor in her campaign. Also a water park spruiked in the shoreline area, which is actually a mozzie and midgie paradise. Abandonment of common sense also applies to setting up the Redland Investment Corporation, which has made losses and which conducts its dealings in secret, and its purchases are dealt with in confidential meetings, but I guess that's more the issue of betrayal. Betrayal applies to our koala population. It also applies to the lack of real community consultation on Toondah and Wynham Creek, and the plunging satisfaction level of Redlanders as a whole. Betrayal applies to the constant secrecy in Council meetings, with confidential items always at the end of the agenda, things like purchase of land for a boat ramp near shoreline, and that Cleveland Point waterfront purchase. There are so many issues in Redlands with overdevelopment, and that includes Toondah and Wynham Creek. All those small lot developments like the first phase of Shoreline and the strange purchase of Mount Cotton land for a sports area that's inaccessible by public transport and is mostly under a conservation veil, but good for the horsey set apparently. Mainland candidates will no doubt be talking more on these issues. I hope future councillors learn from what I'll say about the roads problem that we have on the southern Moreton Bay Islands. I'll focus on something mainlanders know little about, and that's the need to have island roads sealed and proper drainage installed. Sealing all the roads is a broken election promise from 4 years ago. That promise was made by the Mayor. We are absolutely hoping the new federal stimulus package for council infrastructure projects will bring us millions towards the 15.5 million still needed to seal over 50 kilometres of island roads. I have personally contacted Andrew Laming, who says he's pushing for it, and the senior council officer. No, seriously, he has actually taken an interest in this, and it's federal grant, so you get in contact with people who can maybe get things to happen, and we're very, very keen for this to happen. And yesterday, I emailed a senior council officer who replied that grant applications are possible in the caretaker period. So I know there are probably people in other divisions that may have shovel-ready projects that they want to put up for this funding, but really Simbi needs those roads sealed. And this is important to us because the 800,000 delivered in the budget review and the $500,000 in federal grant funding just doesn't go far enough, and the bureaucracy put Simbi road sealing below the line in the last budget. It's not just the voting bloc in council, it's the mindset in the bureaucracy that needs to change. Now, I'll show you a few pictures. Okay, so that's me in August, about to address the council meeting with blow-up pictures of dusty roads. Here's one that you may have seen in Redlands City Bulletin. That's Life for Islanders. When the garbage trucks go up and down dusty roads, not good for anybody's health. Here's a recycled truck heading down Zephyr Street, turned the corner into Oasis. My house is actually hidden behind the dust plume and the gum tree. After that council address, I linked up with Macleay resident Ross Byrne. He found out that in 2012, council started covering dirt roads with a gravel product containing silica. He'd also discovered a cluster of deaths and illness around an unsealed pocket of roads on Macleay Island. That death and disease cluster is actually being investigated by the State Health Department, with an investigator contacting Ross Byrne a couple of weeks ago. Sorry? Okay. Ross has focused on the most serious disease, but I've spoken to council about general bad health issues such as nasal problems, ear infections, asthma and coughs. A dust disease task force was formed and I was on it. And we gave out leaflets and got to learn more problems. Now, meanwhile, council started preparing its ultimately flimsy report on the issue. This noted over 350 customer requests relating to sealing of gravel roads, mostly from Russell. Council claims testing results were fine, though actual air monitoring has never been done. However, the report says this doesn't account for the potential hazard to those who suffer from breathing difficulties and the nuisance. Interestingly, council changed its use of the silica base some months ago to what's known in the trade as profilings. I have a photo of the new road base taken this morning. It seems to be used for topping up unsealed roads. Now, the flip side of dust on unsealed roads is drainage. Just a few photos of what happened in January. Another picture, would you want that in your street? Probably not. Here's a clogged drain, I think that's the one on Centre Road. This is the Auntie Alice corner. I don't know if many people have been to Auntie Alice's. It's a cafe on Russell, and it's a highly trafficked area. People park around there, but it just has a really, it should have proper curbing, guttering, drainage, just absolutely appalling. And, yeah, okay. I actually went through and tried to sweep up the centre area. So I suppose finally you're thinking, who is this woman? I'm independent, not a political party member. I was a journalist for over 30 years and won various awards for health and medical writing when I worked for the Sunday Times in Perth under my maiden name. I also did a later life degree and in secondary English and worked as a special needs and English teacher, including in Lightning Ridge in 2014. I moved to Russell Island in late 2014 and after a while realised there were major problems that needed solving, like fire hazards, evacuation and roads. And that's why I'm here today.
Thank you, Hagen.